Hello, everyone. My name is Mrs. Carolyn Waters, and I'm one of the EOF counselors here at Rutgers-Camden. First, congratulations on your admissions to Rutgers-Camden. As transfer students, we know that it can be a very anxious process, so we hope that today's workshop is going to help you understand the transfer process and the process that you have to take in order to fully assimilate into our campus here at Rutgers-Camden. So the workshop that I'm going to present is titled Transition versus Transfer. Why do we call it that? We call it that because when you transfer into a new institution, it could be there could be some anxiety. It's all new, it's strange. You left a campus that you were so used to and comfortable in, and now you're coming into this campus, and this campus may seem larger. You may feel like I'm all over the place, I'm not sure. But you know what? We're here to help you, and we're here to help you transition. Transition is when you go into a new environment and you own it. You make your space, you take your place there. You earned your transfer process here. Own that transfer process, okay? Own the space that you earned. So here we go. Let's talk about some facts about transfer students. So transfer students make up 44% of the transfer students going into four-year institution. These are community college numbers and research, right? Imagine the research now, how many students transfer. Transfer students from 50 to up to 80% of them decide to pursue a four-year degree. So they transfer from this community college going into a four-year institution. That's a big number. Community colleges also transfer a lot of students from underrepresented populations like EOF, and so in greater numbers, because the community colleges are situated in inner city areas that are accessible to students. So a lot of EOF students go there first. So community colleges are a big force that we connect with because we get a lot of our students from them. And community colleges prepare so many students to transfer to four-year institutions, 24% in 2007 and 2009. So imagine what that percentage is now, much higher, I am sure. Challenges transfer students face? It's a lot of challenges, unfortunately. So research shows that transfer students take up to 3 years to finish their associate's degree. And we don't want that, right? Because a 2-year community college is supposed to be 2 years. But sometimes transfer students come and they've been there 3 years, 3.5 years, and you're using your financial aid because you may not know that your financial aid is cumulative, which means that you're using aid there and then you use the rest of it here. So you really don't want to be at a community college more than 2 years because then you have less time here to finish your degree. Transfer students use most of their financial aid at the community college. That's what I just said. Transfer students do not prepare academically to transfer. And so what this means is that sometimes students, let's say, want to go into social work here. They finish their human resources degree at the community college. But when you come here, you have to apply to the School of Social Work. And a lot of the upper level courses that you took are not transferable because we didn't supervise the internship. We didn't supervise the placement. So a lot of students think that they need that to get here, and you don't. Same thing with nursing. Some students will take some of the sciences there, but not all the sciences and nursing requires. And then when they apply here, they get denied and they become a pre-nursing student. Same thing with School of Business. A lot of times students don't take the courses necessary to apply and get accepted to the School of Business here, and then you end up in pre-business. So a lot of times transfer students, they don't really prepare academically. Another big thing is community colleges use their statistics course to fulfill the math requirement. Here, you have to have a 640 math. So if you didn't come with a 640 regular math, you're going to have to take the placement test here and start at whatever level you tested into. So again, there's a lot of preparation that transfer students don't know that they should make. And unfortunately, that may cause their time here at Rutgers longer to graduate than they anticipated. Again, transfer students will prepare for their majors, and that could delay their requirements to finish with that degree. Transfer students will not take a proactive role in the transfer pathways, and so sometimes we have transfer students that come here and then realize it's not the Rutgers is not for them. We don't even have their major, use up a semester here, and then end up transferring somewhere else. So again, some challenges students face. And transfer students will have a good understanding of the culture of the institution. Rutgers is a research institution, not a teaching institution. And a lot of times students don't realize that when they come here, they have a shock because they have papers to do, and how many papers and how long the papers are becomes a cultural shock to them. So unfortunately, a lot of transfer students don't look into the institutions they're transferring into. So with this said, where do you start? One, what major do you plan to pursue? And have you even visited the website to see what the requirements are? If you had to apply to that major, did you apply in time? Do you know that you're in that major? I've had students who think they're in the school of nursing, and when they get here, they never applied to nursing. They didn't even know they had a separate application. And so that can be a problem. What four-year institution is the right fit for me? Is Rutgers the right fit for you? Have you looked into us enough to know, you know what, that's exactly where I want to be? You're here now, so I'm assuming that you did that. But if you haven't done it, you really need to take a look at what Rutgers has to offer for you and what is it that we expect from our students. How long is it going to take you to graduate? Have you met with an advisor to find out how long it's going to take you to graduate, and how will you pay for your degree? Did you meet with the financial aid advisor to find out how much aid you have left, what you use there, what you have here to finish your degree? What support services does this institution have to offer you? What do we have to offer you? Do you know what that is? And am I going to pursue a grad degree after you graduate? Is the major that you're in, do they have a grad degree attached to their major so it takes you less time to get the grad degree? Are you looking into, maybe there's a different, I'm doing psychology, I want to do social work, I want to do public administration. Have you looked into the grad degrees that we have here? If you're in a social science degree, you definitely want to do a graduate degree. Do you know the difference between a 4-year, 2-year, 4-year institution? What is the level of the culture, like the teaching versus research I mentioned? The cost. Are you going to be a residential student or a commuter student? If you're going to be a residential student, have you looked at the cost of the dorms and a meal plan? Are you ready for that? If you're going to be a commuter, are you going to pay for a parking pass on campus? Are you going to take public transportation? There's discounts for that. Have you looked into that? The mission of the university. We're a civic engaged institution, which means we are in the community. We connect with the community to have our students do a lot of work. So do you know if this is the research institution for you, and the civic engagement that we provide? The diversity of the student and faculty. Do you see yourself in the faculty here or the student body? Is this comfortable for you? And is this what you're looking for? And then, of course, extracurricular activities. Do we have the student organizations that you want, the sororities or fraternities that you're looking at? What is it that we have to offer as far as our student engagement? So next step. So if you didn't do what I said that you would have needed to do at the previous institution, maybe there's some things that you still can do. So you can't meet with your EOF advisor there to talk about what you should do because you're already here. But did you determine how much aid you have left? If you have not done that, you should connect with the financial aid office to find out. Determine your transfer credits. Did you come in with an associate's degree? There's an associate's degree, there's an applied degree. Do you know the difference? Which one did you come in with? And if you didn't have an associate's degree, that's fine. We need to know how many credits you did transfer in because that makes a big difference in the general curricular requirements that students have to do. So we'll talk about that. Have a good understanding of the transfer process. Do you have a good understanding? Do you know what you need to do? Do you know what you're expected to do as a transfer student? If not, hold on to that. We will definitely walk you through this process starting with this video here. Renew your FAFSA October 1st every year. Remember that we're going to be starting school classes next week. So are you ready? And remember to renew your FAFSA by October 1st. Now, you're here. Have you visited the major website of your major? Have you visited? Do you know what their expected GPA is? What their requirements are? Have you seen the requirement sheet for your major, the courses that you have to take? If not, you definitely need to make a habit, or definitely put it on your notes to do page that you need to do that. Determine if there are deadlines to apply for the School of Nursing, for the School of Social Work. What are the deadlines? You need to know what that is. Identify additional requirements you may need to take. So if you didn't come in with a level 2 foreign language, you have to take the level 2 foreign language here in order to graduate. If you didn't do a 640 math there, you're going to have to do that here. So you need to determine, what do I still need to do? You've already contacted with EOF because you're watching this video now. So good. Kudos to you for doing that. You need to meet with an advisor in your major in order to register for classes and to find out what your major requirements are. Did you attend orientation? If you have not, and there's still orientation dates available, please register because that gives you an introduction of the university, and you don't want to start classes here not knowing what you have to do on the first day of classes. Register for placement test. You would have had to do that. If you didn't do that, they sent you a link. Please go back in your email because the links are there for you to take the placement test that you still need to take. And that's determined by what you transferred in. So please make sure that you do that. And then research organizations to see which ones you want to join. Do we have an organization for you? What transfer students bring to the four-year institution? Listen, I know that you want to be here, but we need you here. And this is what you offer. You bring diversity to our campus because transfer students usually come from districts where diversity already exists. So we need you here because guess what? We have to report to the higher education department the number of students they will have here. We have to report the ethnicity of our students. We have to report what majors the students are going to. So we need you here. We need your diversity. Academic performance. You've been through this before. So transfer students already know what they have to do. And so you bring that experience with you. And you kind of help us out with the first-time freshman students who can be unmotivated because they figured, I've been through 12 years of school, another 4 years. But guess what? You've been to college. So it helps us with our transfer students to tell the freshmen, hey, you got this. You got to get your education. And transfer students are here. Listen, they're like, listen, I need to know what I need to do. I need to go to work. I need to start my life. So you bring academic performance from higher education already, and we need that on our campus. Again, that's leadership and commitment, where you're already motivated to get your work done because you've already been through it, and you don't have that much left to finish. So we need your leadership and your commitment to this institution. And you bring money. 46% at this time in 2007, 2009 that this research took place, 46% of our students brought financial aid. That's money to the institution, and we need that. So 46% of transfer. I'm sure that number is so much higher because we're really considered a transfer or commuter campus. So I know that transfer students bring so much to the table. Now, here's a transition plan. All right, so have you met with, have you researched? Do you know how much financial aid you have left? Do you know the major that you're going to and the requirements? How many credits that you're transferring? How many credits do you have left to finish? If you didn't apply and you still have time for the deadlines, apply. This is for like School of Nursing, School of Social Work. You need to look at that. If you didn't apply on time, then you need to know when the application opens up so that you can apply. You've met with EOF, obviously, because you're here in this orientation, in this workshop. So you're here. The date of orientation is, if you haven't attended orientation, when is the next one? If you didn't take the placement test, you need to go take that placement test. And what are the GPA requirements for your major? Do you know what that is? So I know that I've given you a lot, lots of questions. If you have questions, you can either email Dr. Mayers, who's a person that has been communicating with you, or you can email me because I will be your transfer facilitator for the fall semester. Again, my name is Mrs. Waters. My email is C as in cat, F as in Frank, ELIZ, C Felice, at camden.rutgers.edu, or you can call me at 856-225-6107. I look forward to meeting you during this transfer process. We have lots of workshops available for you to help you make this transition. As always, because we are a research institution, this is the research that we've reviewed in order to create this presentation. Everything here is all about research. So I look forward to meeting you all. Once again, congratulations. Welcome to Rutgers Camden, and we'll talk soon.